Are you ready to build a brand new home in 2025? Well, here in Florida, we have thousands of brand new homes. They're being built by production builders, by independent builders, by local builders, and there's a lot to know about new construction. So before you decide to build a home here in 2025, there's 10 things that I'm going to tell you that you should not do prior to buying. So let's get right into it. Now, if we haven't met yet, I'm Lisa McBride with Sarasota Neighborhood Experts, and my team and I love helping so many of you buy, sell, and invest in real estate. So let's dive into the 10 things you should not do when buying new construction. So the first thing that you should not do, you should not start looking at homes or models or even thinking about building without knowing exactly what your budget is. Now, I know that seems like common sense, right? No one's going to look at a home without knowing what they can spend. But with new construction specifically, I find that most people spend about 20% more than they have anticipated spending because there's a lot more cost with new construction than what you're going to see with a resale home, because it's base price of your home, it's lot cost, it's structural upgrades, it's interior upgrades, and all of a sudden the prices really add up. So most people are a little taken aback by the actual cost of new construction. Now, overall, it is not more expensive to buy, but it's really easy to get sucked into like wanting it all with new construction. So go into new construction knowing exactly what your budget is. Also, do not feel like you have to work with the lender for the builder. There are so many good lenders out there, and yes, sometimes the builder's lender will have the best rates and the best incentives, but I have found some of my clients get the best deals from their own personal lenders. So do not feel like you have to work with the builder's lender when buying new construction. The number 2 thing that you should not do is work directly with the builder's sales rep. Now, hear me out on this. I know it's really easy to go into a model home or call the rep for the builder and talk about what models they have available, what the price points are, and these reps are wonderful. They're going to give you tons of information. However, keep in mind, they represent the builder. They're not going to negotiate on your behalf. They're not going to give you tips on the best features that home buyers are looking for. They're not going to help you with thinking about resale in the future. No, they're there to get the sale for the builder. Working with an agent that is knowledgeable in new construction can save you thousands. We know how to negotiate with the builders. We know what the builders are willing to negotiate on. Sometimes we can get builders to throw in things that you wouldn't have even thought about, whether that's an upgraded appliance package, epoxy garage floors, hurricane impact windows, or just reduce the cost of the home. We recently were able to get one of our buyers for new construction a 13% discount on the price of the home, and no builder's rep is going to tell you that that's possible. So please know you are welcome to have representation. And if a builder's rep says that you cannot have representation, call them out on it, because they work with us all the time. And remember, builders do pay buyers' agents, so you're not responsible for that commission. So be sure to contact a reliable agent that knows new construction when you start looking at brand new homes. The number 3 you should not do when looking at new construction, you should not start looking at model homes until you have your must-haves and your wish list completed. Most people have 5 or 6 things that are non-negotiable, whether that's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2,000 square feet, 2-car garage, or extended patio. Most people know exactly what they want. And then they have a wish list, like they want it to have south-facing backyard, or they want a 3-car garage. And those things are a little bit more negotiable. And the reason I say make sure you know exactly what you want in this home before you start looking at models is because the models are gorgeous and they're tricked out with every upgrade possible. And also, you may see a floor plan that you're thinking, this is perfect, this is ideal, but it may be a little larger than what you really needed, or a little smaller than you needed. I hear people tell me they really want 3 bedrooms, but then they see a 2-bedroom with a den and fall in love with it. And then in the long run, it's not really perfect for them. So before you start looking at model homes, be sure you know exactly what you want so you're not swayed by the beauty of model homes. Number 4, do not make an offer just randomly with the builder's rep. I know sometimes when you're talking to reps or looking at models, they're like telling you that an incentive is going to run out by the end of the week, or if you don't purchase right now, you're going to miss out on something. And honestly, you guys, that's probably not true. Occasionally that might happen if it's in a really busy market or a great neighborhood where there's only so many lots left. But you have time to decide. You have time to think about, is this really right for you? And you have time to talk to your agent about how you can negotiate. So please don't feel pressured to make the offer when you walk into the sales center. Their job is to get you to make that offer, but remember, you have time to really think about it and understand what's in that contract. So don't feel pressured to sign anything immediately. Make sure that your agent is involved because they can explain all the details of that contract to you. So just take your time and know that you have time on your side, specifically right now when we have so many new homes on the market to choose from. The number 5 thing that you should not do when you're building a brand new home: do not skimp on communication with your project manager. Now, when we build new homes, every home is going to have a project manager, whether that's coming from out of the ground, from scratch, or if the home is already built. Every home has a project manager. And as a buyer, you have the right to have communication with that project manager. Don't hesitate to reach out to them. Don't feel like you're asking too many questions. Stay on top of that project manager. It is their job to give you weekly updates of the progress of the home. Some weeks, tons of things are happening. Other weeks, it's kind of small detail items, but you have the right to know. So stay involved and be sure you know what's happening with your build project. Also in the same vein though, don't show up on the job site every day asking questions. It's just going to slow them down and it's going to frustrate the builder a little bit because there's a lot of subs and general contractors in and out of your home on a daily basis. So just staying in good contact with your project manager will be the smoothest way to make sure you get the perfect home. The number 6 thing that you never want to do is you never want to forgo your home inspection prior to closing. It is your right to have a home inspection prior to closing your home. Typically, home inspections are conducted about 2 weeks prior to closing. Builders will always allow a home inspector to come through that home. And generally, they're not going to find a lot of things, but you never know if a window is installed incorrectly, insulation has been forgotten in the attic, your air conditioner just isn't working. All of those things are going to be discovered in a home inspection. Also, it's a great reference for you. So that first year, you will be under warranty. And sometimes if something goes wrong, you can check back on your home inspection and go, was that something that should have been caught? Was that something that they already know about and will easily fix? That home inspection is a great insurance policy for you. So please don't skip that home inspection. The number 7 thing to not do or to hesitate on, and that is your financing. Now, sometimes when you sign a contract to build a home, you're not going to be closing for 9 to 12 or 15 months. It's very easy to put the financing on the back burner. Well, do not hesitate because that needs to be done as soon as possible. Now, keep in mind, if you are financing, the interest rate cannot be locked in any closer than perhaps 60 days prior to closing. And so we don't always know exactly what your mortgage payments are going to be. You really want to stay on top of this with your lender. And if you're taking money out of an investment account for your closing, typically you will need to have that in place at least a week or 2 prior to closing because it does take a little time to transfer all those funds. So do not hesitate with your financing and make sure all your money is exactly where it needs to be in plenty of time for closing. Along the same lines as your financing, do not hesitate to get your homeowner's insurance in place well ahead of closing. I have seen it where closings get delayed because they're just waiting for that insurance writer to be sent over to the title company. So Be proactive in all the details, insurance and making sure your utilities are scheduled to start upon closing, and all of those details. Don't wait to the last minute to make sure everything's in order. The number 9 thing not to do is be sure, do not miss your builder walkthrough prior to closing. A builder walkthrough usually is conducted about 7 days prior to closing, and this is critical. The builder rep that you've been working with is going to spend hours with you going through your whole home, from how a hose bib works to where your water shutoff valves are. They are going to go through every detail of your home so you know exactly what is happening in your home. They're going to talk about the thermostat. They're going to talk about your home warranty. They're going to tell you how to contact warranty if there's an emergency, what things actually constitute an emergency, and what to expect throughout that first year where your home warranty is completely in place. So the home walkthrough is critical. Many times I have out-of-town buyers, and it is more critical to fly in, go to that home walkthrough, than it is to be here for the closing. We can do closings remotely, and a lot of my clients have chosen to be here for the walkthrough and then close remotely. So do not miss that walkthrough. And number 10, do not forget that you're going to be spending some money after you close on the home, whether that be window treatments, a little additional landscaping, new furniture. There's a lot of expense when it comes to moving. And so be sure to budget for that in the whole process of moving, because it can be a little overwhelming. And as a final tip, I want to tell people, relax, enjoy, and have fun. Again, moving is so overwhelming and it can cause a lot of stress. So I tell people, slow down, realize all those boxes are going to get unpacked. You're going to get artwork on the walls, and it's going to be a beautiful home. But it does take a little bit more time than sometimes we have anticipated it taking. So enjoy the process. You're going to love your brand new home. And if we can be of any help here at Sarasota Neighborhood Experts, give us a call today. We always appreciate you watching, and until next time, take care.